Hey, what's going on, guys? Dylan JZ here, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 3 biggest issues with Black Ops 6. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, I've kind of went into depth on what I liked and disliked about the beta. I kind of want to make a continuous episode to that video because I feel like there's a lot more that's came out ever since the beta, and I just kind of want to follow up with a lot of different things that my opinions have definitely changed on the game. I think for right now I'm pretty disappointed with how everything is played out, but nonetheless I still think it's going to be a pretty decent game, but there's a lot of things I'm just still not really happy about. So I guess my main thing is with the zombies aspect is the Warzone style zombies. Now, I came from, like the old school days of Call of Duty Zombies. I started with World at War, played Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and those games were absolutely phenomenal. So obviously from someone who actually has a lot of, background with zombies, I just have a huge expectation with Treyarch when it comes to zombies and stuff like that. And seeing the Warzone style zombies, it just blows my mind how unoriginal, how just pathetic, and even as far as the map design, and we'll get into that in a second, but it's just it really irritates me to the fullest extent how they can really mess something up like this, especially from the rumors of everything that I've been hearing. They've actually had like 3 years or something to make this game. That's pretty bad, honestly. Like, to make a zombies game that pretty much feels like Warzone or multiplayer in the zombies game mode is actually pretty depressing. That's pretty sad. Like, I hope the Call of Duty franchise really kind of starts turning around. There's so much bad moves within this franchise. It literally blows my mind that even people are even still playing this game, just considering that there's so many things people are not happy with, and it just blows my mind that they're still the biggest franchise in the gaming industry. But yeah, Warzone style zombies, really disappointing to see that. I mean, it feels so much like multiplayer. Like when I'm looking at the gameplay of like Liberty Falls, for example. Now, Terminus actually looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Terminus actually looks pretty decent. However, it looks like during the gameplay, they actually hid the heads-up display, so you couldn't really see the HUD or anything. But I would assume it's probably similar to that Warzone style dog shit type of game mode. And I don't really understand why. Like, why can't the fans just get something that, we've been asking for the longest time? We don't want to see zombie health bars. I think zombie health bars to me is pretty much like, it's reminding some people of Warzone with the Warzone zombies and that style of gameplay. Why are we having an XP point system? This isn't multiplayer, you know what I mean? Like, this is actually zombies. And to put that into the zombies mode, it feels like we're just playing multiplayer in a private match against a bunch of fucking bots, and it just doesn't feel right, man. It just doesn't feel right. And the map design, just the map design alone is pretty much mid to garbage. Like, Terminus looks pretty decent, but Liberty Falls, it just looks so stale. And I'm not really a fan of zombies during the daylight. I don't know. There's just something about the map that just doesn't fit. Like, when I watch the gameplay, it just doesn't fit the whole aesthetic of zombies, and it just looks off, man. It looks off. And then just the gameplay itself was just so disappointing, and there's no wonder why the fans are literally going crazy about this, because it's so disappointing. I think my only gripe is I'm hoping that Call of Duty will allow custom zombies, because I know with Black Ops 3 the modding community is just so amazing. You got so many custom maps and so many people working on different maps and coming out with cool ideas. I really hope that returns to Black Ops 6. I hope that we're able to actually make our own maps. I think that would be an awesome thing, because Treyarch, they just don't know what they're doing anymore, in my opinion. At least until they actually make some changes. As of right now, as it sits today, from what I've seen and everything that I've observed within the past couple of weeks of Black Ops 6, zombies is not looking good, to be honest. And a lot of influencers that are actually with Treyarch are even saying this, and it just blows my mind how they can mess something like this up. It blows my mind when you have this much money in development and this much money in the industry, and you just simply can't make it right. It just blows my mind. And it really speaks volumes as to where the company is today. And for my second biggest issue, in my opinion, has to relate to the multiplayer side of things, is skill-based matchmaking. It's been a huge topic for many years, and so many people hate it. They want it gone. Obviously, Call of Duty has been plugging their ears, not listening, and don't give a shit. And I don't know what the marketing is with that. I don't know if that actually truly makes them more money. I would assume it does because, you know, I would assume that they would have changed it by now from how many years we've been complaining about it. You could even look up Optic Scump and all these professional, you know, Call of Duty League players. They even agree that skill-based matchmaking has absolutely no place in public matchmaking for Call of Duty. You know that, and that's the whole reason why you have ranked play. If you really want to be super competitive in the Call of Duty space, you'd go to ranked play. But in my opinion, it really doesn't matter where you go, because if you look at regular matchmaking, there's heavy skill-based matchmaking. Every single kill and point, how fast you kill people and how you move, everything is calculated under a weird system that puts you in lobbies that are very similar, you know, skilled players to your skill. And the game just doesn't feel very dynamic. It just feels the same. Every game feels the same. There's so many tryhards that are similar level to you. You physically have to try super hard in order to get good results and actually win games. And there's no fun. You know, good players, they can't be rewarded for being good. They're always stuck in matches with super competitive players. They don't have a chance to actually just have a casual game and have fun. You know, it's like, that's the whole thing. And with skill-based matchmaking, what's the point of skill-based matchmaking when you have ranked play? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like, why have two different, I guess, ranked plays when you could literally just have one ranked play and one casual? You know, not everyone is, you know, a Call of Duty League sweat. Not everyone wants to try super hard just to win a game. People just want to get on and have fun. And if you're good, you're just going to do good. That's just the nature of the game. You know, Call of Duty wants to put everyone in one box in similar skill levels and then just, you know, make them play each other. And then there's actually no fun. You have to sweat and be super competitive to win. And it's like, that's not what casual matchmaking should be. That should be more for the ranked play. And even if they did remove skill-based matchmaking, I mean, look at all the benefits you would have. You would have quicker matchmaking times. You know, how many times have you actually went on the game and actually hit, you know, find a game, and it takes like, you know, 15, 20, 30 seconds. It takes a lot longer than it used to. And that's because the game is calculating your skill base and matching you with other players. And this takes a moment because there's so much mathematical equations that are going on behind the screens. Even if you brought a friend, let's say you invite a friend to your party and that person is significantly lower skill than you, well, now the system's going to compensate for that player and actually kind of make a mathematical equation to kind of compensate their skill level with yours and try to mix and match. It's so stupid. It takes too much time. It's bullshit. They need to remove it. It's the worst thing that happened to Call of Duty. And yes, there may be true, there always been skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty, but not to the extent it has today. Today, the skill-based matchmaking is so OP and so garbage. We definitely really need to get rid of it sometime. So Call of Duty, give the community what they want. You still have ranked play for competitive play, you know, players that actually want to be competing for top prizes or top positions in some type of league or whatever. Leave the regular matchmaking to casual gamers, please. It is so fucking annoying. We have to keep dealing with this every single year, and it's making people so frustrated. Another benefit from removing skill-based matchmaking would actually be more chances of winning. So even if you aren't the greatest player in the world, you might be in a lobby with players that actually aren't as good as you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much more variety. It's not just the same consistent try-hard game every single match. It's actually a lot more variety. So you'll have players that are probably better than you. You might have players that are way worse than you, or maybe around your skill. You know, it just depends. It's so much more variety. All games feel different, and it would just feel a lot more fun. I feel like there'll still be a competitive side to it, because Call of Duty is just a competitive game, period. I mean, you're playing to win the game, so it's not like it won't be competitive, but there will be more variety, there'll be more fun, and more chances of winning because of this style of gameplay. You know, removing skill-based matchmaking, it would just be so much better, a smoother experience. Everyone will have a lot more fun, and you know, good players will actually be rewarded for being good. And I'm sorry, you know, I've been playing Call of Duty since probably like 2007, 2008. You know, I go way back to the older games, and you know, when you play the game this long and you're actually that good, or you're just good player in general, you deserve to kill shitty players. I'm sorry. Like, if you put in the time and you've been with this franchise and you've actually earned the capacity and capability of actually developing a skill for something, and you're actually good, I'm sorry, you deserve to kill shitty players. You deserve to show off your skill and actually have fun, in my opinion. And if players aren't that good, then they eventually will get better. But like I said, I shouldn't be cornered in a box with other players, you know, are just the same skill as me, because that's like, I have to try so incredibly hard, and I would have to rely more on, you know, my teammates in order to actually win the game. You know, there's so many times where, you know, if somebody's just as good as me, but they're not playing the objective, you know, we're gonna get our ass handed to us. It's just gonna be such an easy game for the opposite opponent. You know, we have to try so hard in order to win the game. Anyways, that's just kind of like my view of skill-based matchmaking. I've had pretty strong opinions on it for a very long time, and it just blows my mind that Call of Duty has still, to this day, has done nothing about it, and it really pisses me off. And I've experienced that hardcore skill-based matchmaking garbage in the beta, and it ruins the game. Like, it would be so much more fun if we didn't have to deal with that shit. That's why X Defiant, as a mid-level game arena shooter as it is, it's still pretty fun. Why? Because there's more variety in the gameplay. There's more variety in the matchmaking. It doesn't take a million years to find a match, to figure out who's gonna be just as good as you, and then, you know, have a bunch of fucking lobbies with a bunch of sweats, and you're having a rough time because you have to try so hard and you can't have a casual fucking game. Sorry for that rant about skill-based matchmaking. Let's move on to my third and final issue with this Black Ops 6 game, and that is gonna be the atmosphere and the setting. I've said this from the beginning, and I'll say it again. With the Black Ops 6 beta, I do not like the operator skins. I think they look trash, they look generic, they don't fit in with the times. And the same thing with, you know, pretty much a lot of the Call of Duty games in recent years. Like, let's say it's Modern Warfare, right? It's like, why are so many operators so generically done? They look so bad. They look so just mid. Like, they just don't look like real soldiers. They look like fairy tale creatures. Why can't we have just an actual military style Call of Duty like old times? Like, why do we have to constantly have these mythical creature unicorns and all this shit, all this magic? I mean, if you want to implement stuff like that to the zombies, whatever. I know Call of Duty isn't supposed to be this most realistic thing, but come on, have at least some type of realism to it. Like, there has to be some logical sense to what you're making, you know? If you're emphasizing a Vietnam game, have the setting feel like you're in Vietnam. If you're gonna emphasize a modern day warfare game, you know, make it feel like you're actually in the setting, not some fucking Bridge to Terabithia mythical lion unicorn fucking flying turtle shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. And like I said, the quality of the operator is terrible. They look so bad. I almost threw up just looking at them. They're just so hideous, so poorly done, so generic. And that's another thing too. Like, the quality of the maps don't even look that great either. Some of them are okay. I really like the Skyline map. I thought that was actually a pretty cool map. Yeah, I mean, it was just terrible. I mean, it's not really like, it wasn't like impressive. I will say it's not impressive. Some of them are decent, but like I said, for 3 years in development for this game, wow, just a big wow. My jaw drops just looking at how just disappointing this game is. At the end of the day, I don't know. The only real things that I really like is the movement. I mean, the movement's pretty cool. I feel like there's a lot of decent things about the game. But yeah, the maps, in my opinion, are just terrible. I'd like to see, at the very minimum, at least maybe a couple of remasters of the old school maps. And like I said, I'm not really trying to bring back old maps all the time. I want to see some new innovation. I'm tired of playing the same game 400 times every year. You know, it's like, let's make something new. You know, I think the movement system was a decent direction into making things feel a little bit more fresh, but let's push the boundaries a little bit. You know, this company makes probably billions of dollars every single year, millions upon millions, probably billions. It's like, why aren't they innovating? Why is it so cut, copy, paste? Like, why is it just feels like the same thing? This is crazy, especially when you got multi-studios involved. This is just so bad, man. Let's push the innovation. Let's push the boundaries. Folks, if you're listening, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. I really do. Kind of starting my YouTube thing. I need to upload a little bit more consistently. I've just been so busy with work and other things influencing my life. I'd like to put more videos out there, and I just want to say thank you for watching. If you are watching, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked or disliked the video. All your feedback is highly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.